Well, today is a day of massive relief because of this article I found online. Check out this. Where are we? Finally, an anti-rape PSA that puts the onus on men. PSA is public service announcement. No, just real fast here. I don't think I should have to point this out, but just it's just implied when we use the word rape here. We're talking about men and women that you can, well, it's automatically a man raping a woman. I mean that's what rape is, right? It's a man raping a woman. Doesn't happen any other way. So men are sort of analogous to rapists in this way when you're talking about this situation, because they could never be, the victim. So that's just sort of axiomatic. Okay, so let's read. How hard is it to not blame the victim when it comes to rape? Extremely hard, apparently, as in nearly impossible. That's judging from the hideous social media reactions to the rape cases of young women in both Steubenville and Torrington, as the recent asinine statements made by public figures from Todd Aiken to Joanna Lumley. Todd Aiken, I never understood exactly what the fascination with him was, because his position on abortion, which I obviously think is fucking stupid, is no different than a huge chunk of the Republican Party. And it's like he's kind of indistinguishable from plenty of other politicians in his view. But the fascination seems to instead be with what he said rather than, just what he believes, which is what a lot of people believe. And then there's Joanna Lumley, who made the following appalling statement. Don't behave badly. Don't be sick in the gutter at midnight in a silly dress with no money to get a taxi home, because somebody will take advantage of you. Either they'll rape you, or they'll knock you on the head, or they'll rob you. Yeah, and then, as they say here, I like Joanna Lumley, but it saddens me that her advice for girls is how not to get raped rather than telling boys not to rape in the first place. God, what? Okay, again, just assumption. I mean, boys are the ones who would be doing it, and the girls would obviously be victims. It clearly could never, rape could never be any other way, other than male acting on female. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, what offensive advice. I wouldn't want my daughter following advice like that. Don't be sick in the gutter at midnight in a silly dress with no money to get a taxi home. Who would want their, that would just be terrible, What an awful thought. That's clearly responsible behavior. Okay, and then finishing with this article, add to that a parade of recent anti-rape PSAs that fall right in line by focusing on how women, not men, should go about avoiding rape by dressing appropriately and curbing their booze intake. Again, just assumption there, the men would obviously be the rapists, the women are the victims, and clear, rape doesn't happen any other way. And then what the article was basically about was that, so someone made a little PSA here of a guy with a girl passed out on his couch, and basically he says, guess what I'm going to do to her, and he gives her a pillow and a blanket, and that's all. So of course he behaves in the appropriate way. Now, there's nothing wrong with this video. It's certainly all fine. But it just causes me to wonder. Why is it that rape is the only crime for which we blame the victim? And as I ask myself that, well, one of two things comes to mind. It's either that, well, it's just the misogyny of our society, our just general contempt for women. Yeah, that's one possibility. Or it's that, in fact, rape is the only crime in which basic precautionary advice is perceived as blame. Gee, I wonder which of the two it is. Well, Christina's getting to be that age now. How old is she? 15. She asked me if she could go to a party this weekend. Oh, yeah? What'd you say? Well, I haven't said anything yet, but my first inclination was no. I mean, the guy throwing the party is pretty shady. Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of drinking. Everybody's going to be shit-faced. I'm sure she'd be no different if she went, right? And so it kind of seems like one of those environments where, like, something bad might happen, like, I don't know. Her, I don't know, getting into a car with somebody who was drinking, or maybe passing out and somebody taking advantage of her, right? So, I mean, my initial instinct was to say, hey, no, I don't think that's safe. But then I started to think, even if let's say she did go to the party and she did get drunk and she did pass out, if somebody like took her clothes off and had sex with her, I mean, that would be their fault, not hers, right? But this doesn't mean that that's just okay. So why shouldn't she go? I mean, if I were to say, like, no, she couldn't go, then I would be telling her to sanction her behavior to avoid being a victim. It would be like I was blaming her if something bad did happen, even though if she doesn't go, nothing bad will happen. But I mean, it would be like I was blaming her, and it's not her fault. I mean, it's their fault, right? I see what you're saying. I get your point. Yeah, I mean, you can't. It wouldn't be her fault. So why shouldn't she go? I mean, if something bad happens, she won't be to blame anyway, right? So you ready to go? We're going to go to the Gap, right? Yeah. Let's get moving. Whoa, I think you missed a turn there. No. I'm actually going to go to the bad side of town today. Oh, really? Over on the west side? Yeah. Ooh. A little seedy over there. You sure? Yeah, why not? I was thinking, I always avoid that area of town because I'm afraid that something might happen. But look, it's illegal to, like, do something. If somebody commits a crime, I mean, they're the one breaking the law, not me. There's nothing wrong with being in any part of town that I want to be, right? So why should I go to the safer area? Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I agree. Let's go to the more dangerous area of town. If they commit a crime, it's their fault, not ours. Right. Say, do you think we should lock the car? Well, I always do. Yeah, so do I. But I was thinking, I mean, I heard this public service announcement the other day. Be sure to always lock your cars. There's been a string of break-ins, and I was like, hey, you know what? Why should I lock my car, I mean, like, it's not illegal for me to leave my car unlocked. Like, how about this as a public service announcement? How about don't break into people's cars? Yeah, that's pretty much human decency. Yeah, it's one of the 10 commandments, for fuck's sake. I mean, so yeah, I don't have to leave. I mean, I don't have to leave my car locked. I can leave my car in any state I want. Right, I agree. And furthermore, oh yeah, and they also said in this public service announcement, don't leave valuables in plain sight. You know what? There's nothing illegal about leaving valuables in plain sight. There's nothing unethical about that. Why should it be up to me to be, my responsibility would be avoid being victimized? Right. I mean, it's just victim blaming to say, oh, I shouldn't leave valuables in plain sight. I've got $500 here in my wallet, you know, and I was going to keep it inside the wallet. Fuck it. I'm taking it out and strewing it across the seats while we go into the store. Fuck yeah, I agree. That sounds like a great idea. Say, I have a question about my daughter, yeah? Well, she's only 5, so I mean, it'll be a while before she starts going to parties, but I take her to the park sometimes and let her play. You know, and I always sit there on the bench and watch. But it occurred to me, do I really need to watch her? I mean, it's already illegal for somebody to abduct her, right? Yeah, it would be. I mean, isn't it just kind of common decency that you don't, like, abduct a child? I mean, just because you see one unattended, it doesn't mean you just pick it up and take it home with you. Right, yeah, I agree. I mean, there's like public service announcements about, like, not leaving your child unattended. Well, how about this for a public service announcement? How about don't go stealing people's kids? That's pretty much human decency, right? Yeah, I think so. So, do I really need to sit there and watch my child? I mean, if somebody takes her, it's them who's in the wrong, not me. I can't be expected to take precautions. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just blaming the victim. Yeah, sure. So, yeah, hey, do you see that guy over there? Yeah, sure, I see him. He looks kind of shaggy. Looks like he's probably some sort of a junkie. Do you think we should pick him up? Well, I'm not real I don't know that that's a great idea. I mean, maybe, what if he, did something? You mean like if he farted in the car? Well, yeah, I mean, that would be bad. But I mean, or he could, I don't know, pull a weapon on us or something. This isn't a very nice area of town. Yeah, you know what? Maybe it's not, but it's certainly not illegal to pick up a strange-looking man. I mean, we're hardly asking to be victimized, right? I mean, if somebody tried to say that it was our fault, they'd just be blaming the victim. I mean, there's nothing illegal about giving somebody a ride or letting a strange person into your car, but it's certainly illegal to, like, pull a weapon on someone or, like, do something like that. So, hey, nice suit, by the way. You certainly changed clothes fast, as did you. So, there's another thing I've been wondering about. Well, there's been a serial killer loose in our neighborhood, and I've been hearing all these public service announcements about, well, maybe you should leave your doors locked. How about this for a public service announcement? How about don't be a mass murdering psychopath? Isn't that a little bit more basic? Yeah, you'd think so. It's the 6th fucking commandment. Don't kill. No. The 6th commandment is to celebrate the Feast of Weeks. No, I'm talking about the original 10, not the revision. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, got it. Yeah. I mean, how about that for a public service announcement? Yeah. I mean, geez. Basic human decency just escapes people. I'm totally leaving my doors unlocked. You're just blaming the victim if you say it was our fault if we get killed. Looks like somebody got in the car and stole our money. Damn it. Do you think we should call the police? Well, maybe. But they better not say anything about us leaving the money out or that we should have handled the situation differently. Yeah, they'd be showing what assholes they were if they were to say something like that. That kind of attitude has no place in today's society. I'm glad we lost that money because we gained something better. We got enlightenment. Yeah, we're not a society that blames victims. I mean, we know that even though we lost that $500, that we gained something far greater. We gained the knowledge that it wasn't our fault. Yeah. And we're enlightened. And that's what really matters.